Welcome to another episode of the Peak Potential Success Show. My name is Sofie Nubani. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on the show, we have another amazing guest. I had the privilege, the honor to share a virtual stage with this person at a couple of conferences, had a lot of fun speaking with her. And also, she hosted a lot of these events as well. In fact, she's hosted another podcast show, the Wisdom Cafe, with her partner, and I had the honor of being on that show as well, and it was a lot of fun. And she just has so much great value, so much great energy to give to her audiences that I just couldn't wait to have her on my show. I'm very, very excited to have her on my show today. She is a creative mindset strategist, and she's international. She helps people overcome emotional pain and also achieve higher mental states. She's all over the world working on BD, development, and also PR, consulting, and advising. And she just has so much great energy, so much fun to speak with. And I'm just so excited to have her here today. She's also won so many awards. So please welcome the creatrix, interpersonal executive coach, speaker, international creative mindset strategist, a 4-time best-selling author, Dr. Sofie Nubani.
Oh, blessings, blessings. What an introduction. Thank you. And one of the things that I always admired about you was your enthusiasm. Your life force in your words and the way you present is phenomenal. So I'm excited and I'm very happy to be on this show today. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for your time and being here. And it always helps when the person I'm talking with has a great deal of energy as well. And it makes my job so much more easier because when you speak, it's absolutely entertaining and you have a lot of great value to add. But before we dive into all this deep stuff, you're an international creative mindset strategist. First of all, what exactly is that? And then second of all, what was your journey to become that?
Oh, wow. Okay. See, we never know your questions, but here you go. Absolutely. So, my award-winning book, Optimize Your Creative Mindset, has opened a lot of relationships because it has won 3 awards. And I got to connect with amazing, leaders and also entrepreneurs and organizations. During COVID, I had volunteered my time to assist and support few organizations. And, when you do great in the world, the people don't realize that it's not always when you think. It's good to be focused and very, very goal-oriented so you can have a sense of where you're at and where you're going to and measure the progress of your journey. But in the interim, we are all humans. And when we keep our humanity alive in our way of dealing and communicating, there's many blessings and beautiful things that come with that you can't teach. You can only experience with those good intentions. And so I worked and I actually volunteered few things, and the visibility and exposure on conferences and on panels, on magazine, on debates, on stuff like that has really made my network expand tremendously and globally as well. And with the book, I had a passion, and it's called Optimize Your Creative Mindset, Unleash the Power of Imagination, to help people tap into their past potentiality using a creative mindset that would lead to innovation and giving them techniques and tools and skill sets and so forth that they can enhance and improve through the journey of my personal experience, but also others. Like I had 4 contributors that are amazing thought leaders and respected authorities that also shared stories, just like what you do. Just like exactly what you do with your shows. How many times I open and listen to something and I'm like, oh my God, I would have not known that about that person, but sharing their story can be so inspiring, and you'll be surprised how people get moved on different levels depending on what they're getting out of it in their journey, to take action, to be motivated, to have intrinsic motivation based on what they've heard that inspires them to move forward. And those kind of relationships, when you are built under genuine influence and also genuine care to growth towards a mission and a vision, that type of connection is different than just a business connection. because, when you can feel the trust of the person's maybe creative intelligence, emotional intelligence, and grounded personality to what they do and the walk of life they are in, it is really great, because that's what happened exactly. I was getting on shows just like yours. Was meeting with people in conferences. I was, responding genuinely. I was involved. I was encouraging. I was collaborating. And from that came a lot of positive results and a lot of inquiries and requests. And me offering my services for a while, I was volunteering.
Mhm.
And that volunteer took another step of interest and another step of interest where now I'm contracted with few organizations, and it's been really amazing, because then you just have like a focus, a mission, and get to the end results and the success, not just for you, absolutely, but for the team and for the efforts and the work that you're doing that is really impacting in positive ways, is where true joy comes from. And that's what gives me the fuel and motivation to move forward. So creative mindset strategist, really looking at what an organization or company has, and then connecting dots and concepts and giving them a new creative solution towards solving problems or having how to deal with challenges, as well building culture and team in the organization that will aid that journey for those kind of results.
Very, very cool. Now, when business owners and entrepreneurs come and seek your help and get your assistance, you bring in your creativity, your mindset, your experiences into that partnership, and that's how you help them. You advise them, you coach them, and you give your ideas. What if somebody comes up to you, go, you know what, I really want to work on my own creative mindset? How does one go about to do that?
I am also an interpersonal executive coach. I have certain spots, obviously, a quarter and then for the year, that I work with individuals. And absolutely, because it starts with one to all. And what you can train a group, you can obviously train a person, but in different way, because now the focused, personalized path and system that you create and process for that individual, with based on different modalities that could work best for them, for how they receive our information, and help them really excel in their journey. Because see, there's so many layers to growth.
Mhm.
There's many different measurements to creativity, because there's different levels of creatives. And once they understand where they're at, it's easy for you to guide them to where they need to be and help them find their internal process that I help them create by themselves. I just guide, and they really do the work. And that's where the beauty comes, because you feel that you did it on your own. You were just guided, and the work is on you. I
Mhm.
always tell them, hey, if you're interested, I would love to help you. But unless you're really committed, then I'm really going to put my time and dedication to accept you as a client, because, there's a big difference between interest and commitment.
Right.
And that's where great to greatness and greater goes, is just fine little line, the one extra mile, and a little bit more of a positive discipline that is applied to the journey that you're working with individuals in that case.
Mhm. Now, obviously, people who wants that creative mindset would really, really grow and have a major benefit working with you and having somebody like you with your expertise help them with that guidance. But for some people who goes, you know what, I'm not ready for that step yet, is there something that they can apply right now or take into action right now on their own that would help them take that first step in creating a creative mindset?
Yes, to improve their self-concept, their self-image, their self-confidence, and their ideal self. As Carl Roger, I love this concept, uh, taught, and I use it a lot. And it is in chapter 4 in my book. Because why? For those who are wanting to but not ready. There's so many tools that are always available. To start from somewhere is always good. And the reason I like those is because being self-aware, and you can start building on that and see where you're at, how you would like to improve your journey with what you have currently, and the ability of what you can commit to with time through mentors, even if it is through lectures, YouTube shows, podcasts. And that's all great. That's all better than not. The realization and knowing and understanding the value that you are going to add to your life by starting from somewhere is going to really determine the progress of where you're going to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
So the ideal self in that they can apply immediately, see where they're at, and imagine whether it's somebody that they really look up to or themselves, or where they see themselves at, and go work from there backwards. You see that?
Yeah.
And then what is the step before that, and before that, and before that? And then really work a plan on that. Can be a very nice place to start.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I'm sure everybody should take on that advice, and if they really want to create that mindset, because being creative sets you apart from other people and sets you apart from other businesses as well. Now, you work international, you have clients all over the world. So what have you found are some of the similarities that businesses or entrepreneurs have when it comes to challenges that they face? And then also, because you work all over the world, lots of people go, you know what, I just have the same approach to people in this country and this country and this country. But because of cultural differences or different backgrounds, you can't really do that. So my two-part question here is, one, globally, what have you found to be similar as a challenge for entrepreneurs? And two, do you go with a different approach when you see people from different countries?
Yes, great questions. So globally, when we say there's inflation, and it's a global inflation hitting many people, so a lot of people are trying to find ways to minimize costs, increase revenue, and also to really find ways that they can still do all that without losing a culture or the branding of who they are, and
Mm-hmm.
decrease the quality of their delivery. And that has been, a thing that's going on with many entrepreneurs, in the sense of, how do I scale at the same time while I'm still saving money and minimizing my costs and expenses. But on a personal level, entrepreneur, the stress level is tremendously, extremely high. That the same people I would take advice from, listening to on things that they would have said, because of the stress being so high, their cortisol levels are just up the roof. That they're it's like everything is blurry, fog. They can't see, even though they are that person, the great leader.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. We're all human. We're emotional. We go through things, and we got to understand where we're at. And when we seek professional help, mentors, coaches, books, courses, classes, lectures, conferences, seminars, you name it, it's very important, and it's very vital to be aware of when you need to stop running on that treadmill. Run until you run out of breath and you can't breathe anymore. You're tired, you're sick, your immune system goes down, and the general collective energy is so heavy, it doesn't help for you to rise up. So recognizing, engaging, where you're at before you get to those kind of levels is very, very vital for your success and inner balance, basically, so that you can perform at a peak state without losing yourself, your physical health, in the interim of your goals, your ambition, and your enthusiasm to life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very, very important. And on global level, and when you mentioned of different countries and cultures, I'm an advocate of cultural harmony. And I teach a stream of class for creative intelligence certification program that is endorsed by the United Nations. And it's really, really amazing. One of the things that, if people are not going to understand the value of cultural intelligence, it's going to really hinder or maybe take away from great potential deals, collaborations, and partnerships that could really result from parts of the world, because cultures and traditions really affect decisions based on their belief systems. And when you understand more about a culture, you can really speak their language. They embrace you and they welcome you, and they are listening without guarded walls before you even talk. You're able to really, really align with their language, and that's going to make the communications a lot more productive, effective, and efficient to the results that you want to lead with or lead towards, basically. So understanding religious holidays, rules, mindsets, it's very nice to respect all that, because this is how you earn respect back to you. And with integrity, and really I use the word integrity in really communicating and also connecting with people. There's something about that clear energy, being transparent, and building such bridges with countries is going to create a lot more trust towards your future endeavors. And now you're going to have referrals. So I started working with one big organization that I became their executive director, Charles Walters Innovation Research Societies. And from that organization, it led me to work with IA Live, and I'm their US chapter president. Mm-hmm. And there, where my second book, Hide No More, was inspired by a breast cancer campaign. But meeting the founders and all that, if I didn't learn about the culture, the mindset, it would have been a lot harder for me to get to those kind of levels, positions, and also to really birth new projects in like new books and new topics, new curriculums, and work that really was inspired by such relationships. But I understood a lot about the culture, the mindset, and the diversity of their backgrounds. And it just made it easy, and you blend in, and it's beautiful how you can collaborate and partnership, and that diversity is so powerful. It brings in strength, because now your map of the world and the map of the world of the other party are so different.
Yeah.
But if we can get the connection and the unity in areas of the commonality that we can build upon, and use the differences as areas that we're curious about to learn from, improve, and maybe join venture with, you have something like an awesome new sauce that you just created. And now that kind of growth is so healthy and so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Wow, very, very, very powerful stuff right there. It's so important to have that diversity, and very important to be able to connect with so many different cultures and so many different people. And it only makes us all stronger, because we're all the same when you kind of really look down into it. You mentioned a lot of different things during that segment. One, how you volunteer for a lot of things, how you speak on different stages, how you have clients all over the world. You're international. You have books, you have publications, you have magazine articles. Your list of awards is like scroll after scroll after scroll, and certificate after certificate. So then you also mentioned the word balance. So how does one person balance all that and still have that inner peace and that contentment, that happiness of life?
Wow. The answer to this question, I hope that many can really benefit from, because I often ask my own self, my gratitude for the ability to be in that space of inner peace and joy in the interim of all the deadlines and all the things that needs to be submitted and commitments that I put myself in, that it's all something that I'm very passionate about. So answering your question, to begin with, there's two things I love. I love to challenge myself and do something that is not too scary, maybe, but scary in a way that actually challenges me to just jump and give it a try and see where I go. That I look at failure as feedback And it is an armor for me for building my resilience and power for my next step forward. So many times I was asked to write an article in such a short period of time on a topic.
Mhm.
And, you know, I set boundaries and things that I feel that is not going to add value to my time or other people's that I'm serving, in knowledge or information or shared, wisdom, anything of that nature. But I always like to say yes to things that help me grow and help me reach and help me also learn. And every time we teach, we're learning. Every time we're learning, we are able to teach. So it's a beautiful space also that we get involved in. So being passionate about what you're doing it from an intrinsic motivation with genuine interest to the topic that you're serving or the people or the organization.
Mhm.
For some reason, Feng Shui, like literally sometimes I don't know where my energy comes from after doing these Zooms and the article and the writing and the podcast and the interview. And I have one more thing and I'm like, oh, that's going on now. It's because it's the love of what you do, the love of serving humanity unconditionally
Mhm.
for a good cause. I'm a holistic thinker. And every decision I make, I look at it, how I can grow, how can I help others grow from it? And is this something that could be for the betterment of all as well when it is something involving others?
Mhm.
And that gives me a very, very clear conscience for myself, to my standards. And that makes me have that inner peace where before I go to bed every night, I have a clarity of how my day went. I am accountable to my journey. I don't need someone to tell me unless I feel I need the feedback. If I did something that could be improved, I'm willing to learn and listen. But I'm on that journey every day to see what I did during the day and how I, could have done better in other times and how satisfied I am in other times on the effort I put.
Yeah.
So basically, having that self-awareness and being passionate of what you do is going to be very, very, very supportive for your inner peace. And then from there, just be genuine to yourself. Be true to yourself. Be true to the things you're saying yes to. Why are you saying yes to that? Why? Is it because of outside things that you want to show others? Is it because you feel it's helping you grow? Is it because this growth is going to allow you to do more in serving? Whatever the reason is for you, it's good enough, but be clear on that and love what you do. It just makes the journey more fun.
No, I think a lot of people who are listening to this or watching this can agree with me that your voice when you speak is very, very calm and soothing. Even when you're excited about something, it's very calm and very soothing. So the question is, do you get frustrated? And what does that look like? And if you do, I have a feeling that you catch yourself when you have a challenge or when you're frustrated, you catch yourself very fast and you do something to get yourself back in that calm state. So what do you do?
So let me give you an example. When we all faced the largest pandemic, COVID-19, to begin with at that time, a lot of people completely had to pivot to other things and to change and to deal with uncertainty. I felt so blessed because of my meditation practice, because of my strong faith within, that I was kind of grounded through the whole process, even from the beginning when everything was completely unclear. And one of the reasons is because, I think the biggest strength and courage that you can build towards your daily walk of life is to overcome the fear of death. Once you come to peace with that, I think everything else that you do, you can do a lot better and you can feel more confident. And it's just going to really empower you internally. And so there are parts where I had to really pivot to something different. So, along with my partner at the Laughter Mindset, Dr. Bob Choate, we used to do workshops in person. You know, we did UCF, we did a few different things. And then suddenly now we were like, oh, everything is going to go online, or maybe we need to shift. Maybe we need to also see what does the market need? What does the people need? What is important at this time that we need to shift focus and really put on, because that's wise. You got to be adaptable to be a good leader to yourself before others, really. You got to be adaptable, coachable, everything that's going to help you grow. You got to be humble. You got to listen and be okay. You know, it's not about who did it. It's let's get it done. Let's do it. Let's do it together, you know? And the more you're in that spirit of we consciousness, you are able to transcend the ego, where a lot of people get stuck and paused in, which causes a lot of separation and fear and anxiety into the decisions they are making. On the other hand, what came to me is like, how can I be of service? How can I be of service? I wrote my book, finished it, and published it. Second book came even a year and a half after that. But how can I be of service came, I volunteered with 4 organizations. How I can be of service, I teach 100 kids free once a month on WhatsApp for a volunteered academy. How can I be of service opened many areas for me to serve. And that helped me heal the anxiety that I was concerned about for the world. Because when you hear how many people are dying in Italy and the curfew in London with my friends that can't get out for over a year and a year and a half, we got it made here. I live in Florida. It's an open state. A lot of things were back to normal very fast. I mean, I quarantined for safety reasons, but I did it. You know, I was very cautious. You know, it's also, you got, for me, you know, everyone has their own right to be what they're doing, but I still was blessed. I had the choice to do things. Others didn't have even a choice. They only had to conform to the rules of their countries and not violate them, right? So how can I add a smile on somebody's face? How can I help them tap into their creativity so they can distract their focus on what they're not able to do, what they're limited and tied to do based on their circumstances? That always eased my any kind of anxiety. And when I feel something personal, completely personal, on a level, I always like to step away, and I definitely charge from nature a lot. My favorite is the ocean, rainforest, trees, you name it, mountains. But since I'm in Florida, the ocean is the closest, and I love it. So I make a point to be able to go there more often. And that is part of my lifestyle diet. And it really helps to connect with the things that you love. I have a pet that I adore. I connect with genuine people. My inner circle is amazing. And they're all mission driven and focused, and we charge of each other. So when you build friendship as well as partnership, as well as your growth journey, those are the people you talk on to. This is like how your friend you're talking was like, okay, what project are we on? Or we're building railways in a country. We're doing this. We're creating a conference. That's always going to put you in a charge mode to keep moving forward, going, and you're charging healthy from those around you. And you can be very selective in the process. People who hire me to work with them, I'm definitely open to all that I can do in the area of helping. But my inner circle, I'm extremely picky and very selective, because I really like that to be a growth mindset oriented foundation on the way they walk with life, because I feel I have a lot of people to serve, and I need to be always in that good space for that mission and that commitment that I have towards them. Therefore, I have to always invest in my mental clarity, my inner peace, so that I can give from that beautiful space, because you can't serve from an empty tray. And with that being said, you have to create that balance where what is it that can bring joy to you? Whatever it is, dancing, maybe doing yoga, karate, whatever other hobbies that you can enhance and add to your life as you're running and going and building and pursuing your dreams, your goals.
Mhm.
Make sure that you tap into that, and make sure that you are also looking at engaging your life inventory to see what interests might have popped new, because when you grow, what might have been so cool and appealing to you at one point, you outgrow, and you're not as passionate about it, but you just do it because you think that's what you do. But maybe you need to discover playing chess for a change
Mhm.
and see how that goes, and connect with people in the chess club and see the communication skills that you're going to have with those people. How do they think? Why do they even like this game? You'll be surprised when you put yourself into that diversified, there's so many things to choose from, but tap into that and connect with yourself with newness. Allow new experiences to enter. That's going to make you more open to life. Creativity needs openness, intellectual openness, intellectual curiosity. There's different types, but I'm saying when you are in that space, you are going to invite those kind of experiences and results more often than less. We're human. I have emotions. When my mom passed away, that was very tough on me because I was very close to her. She was an amazing role model, still is. She's with me every day since 2011. The first thing I did when she passed is I registered a laughter yoga certified instructor program, not a class that I would be teaching to graduate. Because I knew if I was to teach it, I would really have to focus on the art, the science, and the perfection of how I can be a good instructor as a laughter yoga instructor. But I know that's going to make me laugh. And I had a lot to learn about laughter in moments of grieving. So always try to really push yourself towards something that is not to your best comfort and out of your comfort zone, and enter into your creative zone and flow with it. And that's going to always charge you and get you more excited, even in the hardest of moments. If you can replace curiosity with fear, curiosity with anger, it's going to help you truly grow, and it will shift completely your mindset immediately, instantly, from how you're feeling about it for those emotions to finding solutions, to transcending obstacles and challenges, to really overcoming emotional pain in a much smoother, harmonious way. Shorter time too. It's not like you won't feel it, because it's healthy to feel. To have pain, that means you're alive. That means you are feeling. Thank God for that. But the suffering is a choice. I just had a friend of mine really write on that. And I really, really, really believe that. So when you are going to go with that kind of mindset and attitude, you are going to open yourself to a lot more in life. Look at Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, his book, amazing. A man who in a concentration camp lost all his family, immediate family, as well parents, siblings, wife, and children. The only left was his sister, and a year later she passes away. Yet the search of meaning within the struggle was truly what made him transcend his current reality. And because of that, he was able to be one of the most respected psychologists ever. And his work is tremendous. In fact, I recommend his book to many of my grieving clients because it's so inspiring. When you think you got it bad, just remember there are many that have it a lot worse, and you can have it a lot worse yourself. And when you start to have a gratitude to what you have good already, you are going to start building hormones in your body that are going to redirect the neurotransmitters of your brain to a positive flow immediately. And this recipe has been really proven by many great leaders that share their struggles and adversity and how they were able to overcome it with an attitude of gratitude, how that built their resilience, allowed them to be more humble, more grateful, and therefore not take a victim mentality and be victorious over their challenges. So that's how, it's a mindset, it's an attitude.
Mhm.
And once you start really changing those patterns, your habits change, your way of dealing and responding to life on regularly, daily basis, how you respond will start changing consistently. And it's a beautiful thing that you can gift yourself by actually applying those kind of principles in your life.
Absolutely awesome. So many powerful statements there, so many powerful strategies for people to apply. I absolutely love how not only did you go and sign up for a class, but you signed up for a class to teach eventually. That is on a whole new level. Absolutely amazing. So now you're doing new things all the time. You're giving back all the time. You're working with people all the time and whatnot. So you still find the time to give back and volunteer and work with kids and do all that stuff. A lot of people go, I don't have time for that. So what do you have to say for people who say they don't have time to do any volunteer work, they don't have time to give back, they're focused on their work?
There's no judgment. Do with what you have and what you can. If you are emotionally depleted, again, you can't serve from an empty tray. How can you charge first? Because your cup has to be full too. And once you are in that space, and then you still feel that you don't have time, don't do it on a big scale. One step at a time is good enough. Don't judge yourself based on what others, and there's gazillions more people that do much more than me that I feel like I'm doing nothing. And when other people see me on a regular basis, the average person working looks at it and is like, how do you have time to do all of this? And I think I'm doing so little.
Mm-hmm.
You see, everybody has a capacity and ability to do with what they have. Being true to yourself and genuine towards a cause is going to allow you to gauge what you can do for that if you are to volunteer. I would say start at home. Start at home. Start at home. If you want to volunteer and help people have better relationships and your relationship is rocky, start at home. Start volunteering time on educating yourself about relationships. Try to understand the opposite. If it's your spouse and it's a woman or the spouse is a man, try to learn more about their minds and what could be something that can help your relationship. Try to understand their personality, their love language. Try to really go there. You can start with little things, maybe helping kids, maybe a nephew or a niece or a neighbor or somebody that a worker or a housekeeping lady that has a child. Start with something little, even if it's a smile.
Mm-hmm.
The world is lacking happy attitudes around. So if anything, you can always start with one thing at a time, and that will start putting you in a more fulfilled space, because the joy of giving is more rewarding than receiving, only for those who are doing it from the heart. And the reason I say that is when that happens, the moment you're doing it, you're already receiving instantly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not from a person in particular, but the fact that you're in progress towards that of what you are trying to serve or goal or thing that you really would like to have. So whether it's donating money, time, education, books, material, anything can be still good, because the more you give, the less the greed of life leeches onto you. And you'll be able to give love and to receive love. And that's such a wonderful feeling that I pray that everyone can experience and actually feel.
Mm-hmm.
And those kind of emotions and relationships are not going to just be built like that. They are going to come from a sincere, genuine intention that you start with self first.
Mm-hmm.
And intention creates meaning. And from there, There's a lot of great, beautiful things to look forward for. Expect the best and prepare for the worst, but be okay with it. Because if it does happen, you weren't attached to the outcome because it was originally something that you did from your heart. Not for, say, no, create for a cause, not for applause. And when you really do that, you are going to create from a beautiful, healthy place, from an expanded conscious perspective. And that's going to be a very vital key to your personal success and creative growth journey.
Wow, absolutely amazing. And so many great words of advice right there. Now, my final formal question for you, it's going to be difficult because throughout this entire interview, you've given so many great life lessons, so many life paths and whatnot. If we were to sum up one message that you would to give to the entire world so that everybody remembers Dr. Sofie for that one message, what would that one message be?
I would say to love more and judge less, because what happens now, you're creating space for your personal growth. And you're not competing and being so always either, complaining or comparing. Okay. It is going to make you happy for others' success. And it's going to also make you happy while you are going through the journey towards your goal, loving what you're doing. And then the passion and enthusiasm is going to charge it more. Be true to yourself and speak your truth, and you shall be free.
Awesome words to live by. This time has flown by very, very fast, and you have just so much great lessons to learn and stuff that we can all apply to our lives. I got 5 quick questions for you before I let you go. You could relax. This is just for fun to get to know who you are and what you like. First question is, you're stranded on a desert island and you get one food to eat for the rest of your life, no consequence. What would that be?
Avocados.
So healthy. Hollywood calls and go, you know what, Dr. Sofie, we really want to do a biopic on you. Who do you cast to play you in that role?
Angelina Jolie.
Awesome. Angelina Jolie shows up at your door and go, hey, I got the role. Let's hang out. Let's get to know each other. But boy, I'm hungry. And you go, no problem. Let me serve you dinner. What's that special dish that you could prepare?
Grilled salmon and veggies.
Awesome. Now, because you say you do new things all the time, you challenge yourself, you excite yourself with new challenges and new experiences. What is one of the most obscure or unique skill sets that you have or that you've learned that not many people know about?
Well, I had developed a structure to myself, and that is really, how can I really achieve any of the things that I want to, being, I thought, more of an extroverted personality, but through the tests that I passed, I was an extrovert introvert. So I had to really focus on having positive discipline. And the journey of writing my book, I did not really discover a lot of things that I've had within me, and this amazing sense of curiosity that always, always the challenge, the unfolding, the curiosity of the unknown, even though it could be such a scary thing of a challenge, but the unfolding and me being in that space with that walk has always really, really, really got me to feel very confident. And I seem to be extremely very friendly and open, but I am a little bit of an introvert for those who don't really know me. I do like my space a lot and my alone time. Mm-hmm. And because that's the space I feel that I can clearly engage, think, release, receive, and replace things, ideas, situations, and so forth. So I would say that's a little bit more about me that some people might not really see because of my social skills.
Mhm.
But I do have an introverted part of me,
Very cool.
and more like more of the my alone time is like being alone more than people expect, really.
Mhm. Give me a number from 1 to 4.
3.
1, 2, 3. So if you were to relate success to coveralls, how is success like coveralls?
I'm not sure if I understand
So if you
coveralls.
were to use coveralls as a metaphor for success, what would that be?
Coveralls. I'm not understanding coveralls.
I see. Well, why don't we pick another number between 1 to 3?
1.
1. How about birdhouse?
Okay, perfect. That no matter how far you fly in life and succeed, uh, everyone will need a home, and that you are able to feel safe and grounded into a home. So always be mindful to keep that space really very healthy, and also a safe haven where you can always go back to for your psychological safety and grow from. So never ever neglect that home and that home within you as well, because it is very vital for your health and mental health, physical, emotional, and spiritual health, is that your inner home is always also well, as well you're really striving and flying high.
Awesome. Well done. So that's how success is like a birdhouse. Final words from you. How do people get in contact with you? How do people buy your book? What's the best way?
Yes, they can go to my website, drsofie.nubani.com. And also that is DRSOFIENUBANI.com. My book is on Amazon. Both of my books are on Amazon. Or if they Google Optimize Your Creative Mindset, it's in Barnes and Nobles, Walmart. It's in many different outlets, so they can check that. And I'm on all social media, most of social media platforms: LinkedIn, Dr. Sofie Nubani; Facebook, Dr. Sofie Nubani; Twitter and Instagram is Sofie.Nubani. So I am definitely visible in many different platforms, and I'm always active and engaged, involved, and I would like to always be of good service when I can. So
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that. For me, I've enjoyed this interview a lot. I got a lot of great tips from you. It was very, very engaging and so much great energy coming from you. So thank you very much. And if everybody else liked it as much as I do, please, please, please connect with Dr. Sofie here. Get her book, see her content. Lots of great stuff there. It's a great joy to have you on my show. So thank you very much. Until next time, she is Dr. Sofie. My name is Fong Chua. Until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll all see you later.
blessings.